Hello everyone, welcome Vidushi Agarwal. Today she is a candidate and I am the interviewer, and today we'll record the video of mock interview, how real interviews happen in the companies and while you go for off campus or on campus interviews. So watch the video till the end because we will be covering the projects, OOPS, DBMS, HR related questions and some DSA questions also, and some blunders which you can avoid in the interview. And watch this video till the end and let's get started. The first thing is, firstly, the interviewer gives his introduction.
All right. So, greetings. I am Vidushi Agarwal and I am a third year BTech student from Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University, and I am currently in branch Electronics and Communication Engineering with a specialization in artificial intelligence. Now, talking about my technical skills, I have learned web development, full stack web development, where I am working on React.js for front end and I am working on MongoDB and Node.js for backend. And with this, I am also learning 3D web development where I am working on 3JS. Now, talking about my extracurricular skills, so I have developed my own society called Techniques IGDTU, where I am. Uh, where I am leading the society and I am on the leading role of that community, and it is a very creative goal that all you need to know about tech. Uh, Further this, I am a technical lead of Asset Merkle website team where I am handling a team of 7 people for building their website. And yeah, that's all about my introduction.
Okay, Vidushi. So, after the introduction in the interview, the interviewer can ask about your skills, about your projects, or he can directly give you some DSA questions. So, we'll start with the DSA question, okay? So, the first question is like there is a number 21, and you have to print the number of consecutive pairs that will sum up to 21. So I want you to share the screen and write the complete code and explain the time complexity also line by line.
Okay, so is my screen visible?
Yes, Vidushi.
Okay. So let me start with my approach, what I am thinking about it. So I may start with a loop that will be starting from 1 and will be going up to n. So this will be the first loop. Then I will be having a variable uh, and I will initiate it with a 0. Then I will initiate the second loop that will be starting from the variable from the first loop, and it will also go to that number that is given to us. Then within that loop, I will increase sum by j, like the second loop variable. And if that sum will become equal to n, then I will increase the count. The count is the number that we have to return, the number of consecutive pairs. So I will increase the count by 1, and then I will break the loop, because after that the sum will be more than n. And after this loop I will be writing a line: if sum is greater than n, then I will break that loop, and finally I will return count. So this is the approach that I am thinking. Now let's code it. Okay. So I am maintaining a function for the same. Here I am passing the number that we will be getting from our main. Let's make it here. For example, you said 21, and here I will be passing this into this function. Yes. So now I will start writing my code. So first of all, I will be taking a variable count that I will be returning at the last, and I will initiate it with 0. Then I will be initiating a loop with a variable I starting from 1 and ending with n. Now I will take a variable sum, which I will start with 0 as well. Now inside this, I will initiate a loop with a variable j, and I will start it from I, and it will also end with n. Now I will increase the sum by j. Now I will check at every step, like if if the sum is equals to n, like we have reached the final destination, so the sum is equals to n, then we will increase the count plus plus, and then we will break this, and after that we will check. If it is not equal, then it will be greater. So else, if sum is greater than n, then we will break the loop, and finally we will return count, and here as well. Just a second, we should print this. Okay, so it is returning 3, and I think it is done. Any more variables that you want to check, like any more numbers?
No, Vidushi, it's fine. I just want to know the time complexity of this code.
So the complexity for this code is n square, order of n square.
Okay, Vidushi, it was good approach and the code also. So, guys, at this point, I would like to suggest you some tips. Never take long pauses, as she was explaining line by line which function she is initiating, what is writing. So don't take long pause and try to explain the time complexity line by line. As she has given the time complexity in a single go, you need to tell them line by line, like this loop will have the time complexity of this order, this loop will have the time complexity of this order. Okay. So Vidushi, you can stop sharing your screen and now we'll move to some CS fundamentals questions.
Okay.
Okay, Vidushi. So next coming to your projects, can you just tell me any your like earlier made project, the first project you made, and what challenges you faced in that?
So my first project was IRCTC website clone, and it was a very new project for me, as I just initiated learning web development, and I made it in HTML and CSS, and that is a website that is never cloned before. So I didn't get any resources or any help with the resources. So I initiated it from the very basics, like there is a carousel on the front, and literally took me one day to make that carousel only. So yeah, that was a great challenge to design every element step by step and without any resources.
Okay, so what was your aim while making that project? Why IRCTC clone only?
Because that was a website that I found is very static, like it is a very static and very basic website, and it helped me a lot to learn about the CSS properties and the different elements that were added there. There was table, there was forms, there was static elements, there was a use of JavaScript as well. So that was my aim, to use that website.
Okay, so see, as she has like told she was doing CSS elements and table and forms, so she can get some follow up questions from table, forms, or CSS. So let us ask one CSS question. So Vidushi, can you tell me one difference between div and span in CSS?
Yeah. So div is used for block level grouping, and the span is used for inline grouping. Like in div, we reach block by block, and in span, we go inline only. Like it is for small parts of text, and for div is used with CSS styling for layout and structure.
Okay, so now coming to some CS fundamentals. Are you aware of DBMS? Oops.
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell me what are ACID properties in DBMS and what ACID stands for?
Yes. So, asset properties stands for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So, the asset properties are these are the properties that ensure reliable database transactions. These properties are used for transaction purposes. So, in atomicity, uh, for example, we can see in a bank transfer, if money is debited from one account, then it must be credited to the other. Like if the process should be completely done, or it shouldn't be done at all. Like if the transaction has been debited, then it should be credited to the other account, otherwise both should have not done. And now the consistency ensures the database remains in a valid state before and after a transaction. For example, a transaction should not violate integrity constants like primary key or foreign key. Now comes the isolation. So the transaction must occur independently without referring with each other. Like no two transactions should collide, and both of them should occur independently. Now the last one is durability. So it says once the transaction is committed, changes are permanent even in case of system failure. So if the system will crash, the transaction must be durable and it should not collapse. So these were the asset properties of DBMS.
Okay, so what are four pillar of OOPS? Can you explain? Just a single definition.
The four pillars of OOPS are abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, and encapsulation.
Okay, so coming to DBMS part, what is difference between paging and segmentation?
Okay. So, in paging, it divides memory into fixed size blocks that are called pages. And segmentation divides memory in variable size segments, which are based on logical division, like functions and arrays. In paging, it helps in efficient memory usage because it avoids fragmentation, and the segmentation provides a logical view of the process.
Okay, Vidushi, so as in your introduction, you told you are the founder or the leading of Tech Need Society. So, how you are managing the team, and suppose, for example, in a team of 7 to 8 members, one person is not doing their work. So, how you will enable them to do the work as the team lead?
Okay. Okay. So first of all, I want to know their problem. Like, what is the problem that they are not able to do their work? If will be related to some kind of personal stuff, then I will want to give them some space and will not interrupt them anymore. But if it is related to some burden on their work that I am giving, then I will want to release it. So I will ask them what is the problem that you are facing. I will personally talk to them. I will try to solve their problem, and then I will try to distribute her or work so that the work will be done, but there will be no more pressure on her only.
Okay, so this was the end of the interview. Now, coming to some blunders, some mistakes you can avoid to ace your next interview. The first one is always read about the company. Like if you are going for the interview of Google or Microsoft, so read about their values, what product they use, what services they provide. Okay. Second one is ensure you have a proper internet connection because Vidushi also faced this type of problem. Am I right?
Yes. So while my technical interview, my connection was very weak, and my meet was disconnected 3 times. So it should not be the case with you. Please be with proper internet connection. Also, keep your laptops charged before your interviews because it can be a problem as well.
And keep the introduction prepared beforehand. Always give your best projects in the introduction. Tell about your technical skills, tell about your hobbies, interests, and some extracurricular part also you can tell. And prepare your strength, weakness also, because in the technical interview it is possible that at the end of the interview you may be asked about the your strength, your goals, and why do you want to join that company, where do you see yourself in next 5 years, any challenges you faced in your projects, as Vidushi told. So prepare all these things beforehand. Any extra thing you want to tell, Vidushi, to the juniors?
Yeah, so for the technical interview, be prepared with your DSA and be precise with your code. Like, first of all, tell your approach that what are you thinking, and then start coding only. So it will create a base for your code for the interviewer as well, and they will be able to understand your code in one go.
Okay,
Okay.
so this was from my side. Thank you, Vidushi, for doing this mock interview thing.
Thank you so much, Upasana. You are doing a very great job, and all the best.
Thank you.